Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Millennial Money. So this week I'm going to be talking about how you can save for a house deposit, and I'll also share with you what I'm currently doing to save for a house deposit right now. So there's a few things to remember when you are saving for a house deposit. You need to be realistic, set achievable goals, and maybe start off with small goals that are reasonable for you to achieve. So maybe set a target for £5,000 over a series of months so that when you're achieving these goals, you get a boost and then you get more motivation to save for your first home. Another thing is budget. Now, I have done many videos in the Millennial Money series about budgeting, and it is something that I think is really important when it comes to your personal finances. Now, when you budget, it allows you to be aware and completely in control of where all of your money, every penny of your money is going each month. So as soon as your bills are covered, as soon as you've covered your bills each month, then you know that the rest of the money is spare for you to either spend or save. Now, in this instance, when you are saving for a house deposit, you obviously want to save as much of your salary each month so that you can achieve your goal as quickly as possible. Now, I really wanted to save for a house. So what I had to do in the end to maximize my chances of saving as much money as possible is I got a second job. So I got a second job in a pub and working as a waitress, and any income that I got from this second job went straight into our house saving pot. Also, you have to be realistic when it comes to saving for a house. You can't do everything that you want to do when you're not saving, because it will just mean that your goal takes you twice as long to reach. So it depends how much you want it. If you want to achieve saving for a house in a shorter time frame, then you will have to compromise and stop going out as much as you would like to. For example, me and my partner, we haven't gone on holiday for a few years because we know that we want to save for a house. And unfortunately, as much as I really want to go on holiday, I know that that's a big compromise and a sacrifice that I'm going to have to make. And it will definitely be the first thing that I book as soon as I have a house. But just because you're going to stop doing as much as you'd like to doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself of everything. In my budget each month, I actually budget for a date night. Me and my partner, we both save £25 a month, so it's not a lot, which totals to £50. But we can use that for either one meal out or a takeaway, or if we wanted to go to the cinema, so you can take advantage of 2-for-1 deals. And that you'll find that actually £50 can go a long way if you are careful of your money and conscious on what you are spending. Also, we made the conscious decision to clear all of our credit card debt before we decided to save for a house, because if you are saving whilst you are paying debt, it can seem counterproductive if you are paying interest on your debt. So we made the decision that we wanted to clear our debt, because as soon as our debt was cleared, we could then save as much as we could each month towards our house deposit. Now, I talk about how I cleared my credit card debt. It was a couple of £1,000s in another Millennial Money video. So go and check that out, because you will be able to take away some of those tips that could help you also clear your credit card debt. Now, I understand that not everyone has a couple of £1,000s. You may have a bit more. So it may not be reasonable to clear all of that off before you move out. But if you take away some of those tips, it can help you start and maybe reduce the monthly outgoings you have for your debt so that you can save a bit more money each month. Also, another thing I do, both me and my partner, we have a lifetime ISA. A lifetime ISA currently allows you to save £4,000 in each tax year, and then the government gives you a 25% bonus for free. So if you max out your lifetime ISA of £4,000 in this tax year, you will get £1,000 from the government. Now, there are a few restrictions that come with this. So if you do need to access your money, there are a few penalties, but we go into more detail about the lifetime ISA in the article on our website, and I will attach that along with this video. However, one good thing with a lifetime ISA is if you are buying a house with somebody else, they can also have a lifetime ISA, and they are also able to get the government bonus. So that is a nice little top up from the government towards your house deposit, and it's at no extra cost to yourself. So just a quick summary on how you would save for a house deposit. So set a goal amount. There are a lot of online calculators out there that you can enter in your salaries and a rough idea of your monthly outgoings, and you will get a rough estimation of what you are able to borrow on your salary. Now, this is only rough. Once you've spoken to a mortgage broker, this can vary. So you may be able to borrow a bit more than what these rough online calculators say. However, it will give you an idea of the rough amount you will need to save. So if you are trying to save 10% of a property amount, at least then you will have a figure in your head of roughly how much you need to save before you can start getting the wheels in motion. Once you've done this, you can set a goal amount and you can break it down into small increments. This will help you to achieve your goals. Now, I currently live at home. I'm really lucky to be able to live at home, so I can maximize how much I can save for a house deposit. Obviously, this isn't always possible if you are already renting and you have a large amount of your coming out in rent each month, but it doesn't mean that saving for a property is unrealistic or is unachievable. Just set a goal. It might have to be a long-term goal because you might not be able to save as much as you would like to because you're also paying rent, but it doesn't mean you won't achieve it later down the line. Just set a realistic goal and set small increments and just make minor changes in your life and put away a set amount each month, any spare money you have each month, into your house saving pot, and you will achieve that. However, if you are renting or don't think you will be able to save a large deposit for a house, there are a few schemes out there available which could help you get onto the property ladder sooner than you might have originally thought. So I already touched on the Lifetime ISA. So that is a scheme run by the government. They will give you 25% bonus on your £4,000 savings each year. Or if you have less than that, you still get 25%. But it's better to maximise that because then you can get a free £1,000 from the government. There is also the Help to Buy equity loan scheme. So this is where you only need to save a 5% deposit for a property, and then the government will loan you either 20% if you live outside of London or 40% if you live inside of London. So therefore that means you only need to get a 75% or 55% mortgage on a property. You aren't charged any loan fees for the first 5 years that you have the loan. After that, you will be charged. There are a few caveats that obviously come with the scheme, and the loan is repayable. So it's either repayable over time if you decide to stay in the property, or alternatively, when you sell the property, the government can get their loan back that way. The biggest thing with the Help to Buy equity loan is it is only available on new builds, and there are some other limitations, but we do go into that in more detail in our first time buyer guide, which I will put a link to along with this video. There is also the shared ownership scheme, which means that you buy a percentage of the property. So this is usually between 25 and 75% of the property, and then you rent the remaining share of the property that you do not own. With shared ownership, there is the ability to staircase the property. So this means that as you go along, you can apply to buy more of the property, which means increase the percentage of the property that you own, and therefore decreases the amount of rent that you pay on the remainder of the property. Eligibility, there is certain criteria to meet to qualify for the shared ownership scheme. But as I said previously, we go into more detail on these schemes available in our first time buyer guide, and I'll put a link to that along with the video. So that's it for this week's Millennial Money. Some key takeaways when you are saving for your house deposit: budget. Set realistic goals, as you don't want to demotivate yourself if you don't meet them. Make sacrifices or compromises, because if you really want your goal, you have to cut back on certain luxuries that you may pay for each month. Get a second job or a second income if you need to. That will help bump up your house deposit. Take advantage of the schemes that are available to you. So some of them, like I said before, offer you free money at no extra cost to yourself. And if you want more information, I will link to that along with the video. And if you can, try and clear any existing credit card or loan debt that you have, because this will reduce your monthly outgoings and allow you to maximize the amount that you can save each month. So that's it for this week's Millennial Money. If you liked this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more weekly videos on all things personal finance and investing. And follow us over on our social media. So our Facebook, Money to the Masses, our Instagram at Money to the Masses, and our Twitter at Money to the Masses with the number 2. Thanks so much for watching.